right, let me see if I can get this done real quick. Let me knock this out real quick. I got videos to put out, lots of them. Anyway, okay, what I got for you guys here? Let's see here. Oh, by the way, hello viewers. Another beautiful day. Hope your five senses work, health and strength is good or excellent. Alright, what do I got for you? Oh, Linux or landfill? Question mark. End of Windows leaves PC charities with tough choices. Many donatable PCs can't run Windows 11. Should non-profit still be giving them away? Should they install Linux? Should they install Linux instead? Well, hey, I got the answer for that. But anyway, it says here, unless Microsoft changes its mind at the last minute, Windows 10 will stop receiving free security updates this coming October. For those who can upgrade to Windows 10, the solution is obvious: running a new OS even if you don't like it. But there's hundreds of millions, by one estimate 240 million PCs that don't meet Microsoft's stringent Windows 11 hardware requirement. If you're a consumer or a business, Microsoft and the PC industry would very much like you to toss these systems in the trash and buy new computers to take their place. But forgotten in the capitalistic crush are all the charities that refurbish older computers and give them to people who can't afford to purchase them one. These non-profits are sitting on plethora of still working computers that can't run Microsoft's latest OS. Do they give clients a soon-to-be insecure Windows 10 computer, send older computers to an e-waste recycler, toss them in the trash, or try to install some form of Linux? Says here, and Windows 11 ineligible PC can be pretty recent and powerful. Microsoft list of system requirement for Windows 11 seems basic at first glance. You'll need a 1 GHz or faster CPU with the latest 2 cores. You need 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, secure boot, and TPM 2.0 compatibility. Remember him? Anyway, when Windows 11 came out, says here, however, Microsoft support Intel CPU list for Windows 11 only goes back as far as 8th gen chips. Coffee Lake, which first came out in 2017, and its AMD CPU list only incorporates Ryzen 2000 series from 2018 and above. That means computer which came out in 2017 and 2018, or maybe even 2019 with the last gen chip for the time, are ineligible. They could have 16 gigs of RAM and a 500 gig SSD and still not make the cut. Some of these ineligible computers will continue to run old Windows. Others will be loaded with a different OS entirely. Some will end up in e-waste recycling, where costs of parts can be reclaimed. However, a good chunk will end up in landfills. According to one estimate, only 14 to 40% of US e-waste gets recycled at all. My 12-year-old son and I recently joined a local computer refurbishment and charity where we live in Long Island. The folks who run our organizations are still installing Windows 10 on non-Windows 11 eligible computers because they don't want to give our clients an unfair user experience. It says here, many of the clients are seniors and they may not have the patience or tenacity to work with different OS that can't run all the same software they are used to. School children are used to running Windows in schools and would want a computer that's more closely mirror the experience they have in class. Installing a new OS might also means more support calls for folks who can't figure out the subtle difference between Linux desktop and Windows. However, by sticking with Windows 10, we are also leaving our clients with insecure computers that could put them in some danger when the updates stop in October. Deploying Windows 10 at this time is a bad idea. Chester Wisniewski, who serves as director in global field CISO and for Sophos, a major security service company, told us the writing is on the wall. Microsoft has made the internal decision to obsolete this equipment, so I guess they just don't want more people to use Windows. It's almost goes without saying the charity client won't be the only ones running Windows 10 later this year. According to StatsCounter, Windows 10 still make up 58.7% of all Windows installed versus 38.1% for 11 percent of Windows. It seems unlikely that all of those computers will have been upgraded to Windows 11 or placed with newer Windows 11 PC by October. Then it's yeah, Windows for you folks. And then see if I can get this here. Yeah, messed up here a little bit. See if I can get this. I'm almost done here. Let's see, where was I at before I was rudely interrupted? Okay, where was I at? I said something about Windows. Where was I at? Oh, it seems even more likely that 58% will be paying $61 per year for Microsoft Extended Upgraded Security Program, and charities and their clients are extremely unlikely to have funds or the desire to pay ongoing service fees to keep the OS up to date. We asked Microsoft for its take on the situation, but the company would not comment on the record. So how? Oh, come on now. Computer messing with me here. Must be clicking the wrong thing here. Anyway. Let's see, where was we at before we was rudely interrupted again? Okay, he says, okay, where was I at? Okay, so how bad will it really be to run an end-of-life Windows 10? Should people worry? Wisniewski and other experts I talked are unequivocal. You're at risk. To put it in perspective, today, the day we talked was Patch Tuesday. He said there were 57 vulnerabilities, 6 of which have already been abused by criminals before this fix were available. There were also 57 in February and 159 in January. Windows 10 and Windows 11 largely have a shared code base, meaning most, if not all, vulnerability each month are exploited on both OSs. These will be actively turned into digital weapons by criminals, and nation state alike, and Windows 10 users will be somewhat defenseless against them. So in short, even though Windows 10 has been around since 2015, there are still massive security holes being patched. Even within the past few weeks, dozens of vulnerabilities were fixed by Microsoft. So what's a charity to do when these updates are running out and clients will be left vulnerable? What we decide to do is 1 year ahead of the cutoff, we discontinue Windows 10, says Casey Sorensen, CEO of PC for People, one of the U.S. Largest nonprofit computer refurbishers. We will distribute Linux laptops that are 6 or 7 gen. If we distribute a Windows laptop, it will be 8 gen or newer. Sorensen said that any PC that fits that 5th gen or older will be sent to an e-waste recycler. And then it says here, I'm almost done here. It says here, PC for People has refurbished centers in 11 states and distribute computers throughout the United States. The company sells refurbished computers at very affordable price, both through its websites and some brick and mortar location. As of this writing, a website has a ThinkPad T490 with Windows 11, 8 gig of RAMs for just $125. Sorensen also said that low-income individual can qualify for completely free laptops, and other can buy low-cost internet connectivity so they can get online. Every year, the company refurbishes 140,000 PCs, most of which are donated by corporation. PCs for People then wipes the drives, put on a fresh OS, and even replace laptop batteries if they don't hold a significant amount of original charge. However, the company has also sent 7 million pounds of e-waste from outdated, unfixed gears to recycles. Sorensen, who founded the company in 1998, told us that he's comfortable with giving clients computers that run Linux, a free OS that's based on Ubuntu. The latest version of Mint, version 21.2, will be supported until 2029. 10 years ago, if you distributed Linux, they would be like, what is it? He said, but today he notes that many views their computers as windows to the internet, and for that, a user-friendly version of Linux is acceptable. To see what some Sorensen's clients experience, I installed Linux Mint 22.1 in a virtual machine on my laptop. These process took more than 30 minutes, and while the user interface was very Windows-like, complete with a start menu button in the lower left corner, it wasn't Windows. Instead of Microsoft Store, you had Software Manager, which lacked a lot of key features. Then it says Google Chrome browser isn't in the store, but open source Chromium is. Instead, Firefox was the default browser. You can install Google Chrome if you go to Google's site, and know that you need to download the installer for Ubuntu. I was using Mint, but Mint is based on Ubuntu. Some of the apps I most use commonly aren't available for Linux at all, including Microsoft Office, Slack. There's a beta but no final version. Notepad++. Instead of the easy to use Photoshop Elements, there's GIMP. Sure, there are alternatives out there, but sometimes you just want software you're comfortable with. While it was easy for me to feel at home on Mint Cinnamon UI, I wouldn't hand a computer with this interface to my mother. I'd be getting tons of calls asking me why her 15-year-old copy of PrintShop doesn't work, or wondering about how to change settings. So which choice is right for recyclers with PCs that can't support Windows 11? Give users a soon-to-be insecure Windows 10, make them learn Linux, or just throw the computer out? Whatever charity choose, there's sure to be a lot of people running Windows 10 after October, and a lot of laptops turning into unnecessary waste. Well, look, I would have been done in 10 minutes, but yeah. But anyway, look, there is of course, there's Ubuntu, there's Linux Mint, but the article, keep forgetting, the article didn't mention, see if I got it here. The article didn't mention XFCE, because you have Ubuntu, Linux Mint, and XFCE. XFCE, this operating system, Linux, is designed to work on older computers. So your Windows 10 computer is not in terrible shape like Microsoft want to make it out to be. All you need is a copy of this, XFCE, okay? Because it's part of the Ubuntu family under Linux Mint. Yeah. So your Windows 10 computers is not in bad shape. But now the question is, if you've been using Windows 10 all your life, the question is, are you willing to branch out and learn a new OS? That's the question. The other other question is too, do you have time and youth on your side to where you can learn Windows and probably a Linux operating system? Those Windows 10 computers are still good. You just got to get a copy of XFCE and you're good. Yeah. You know, of course there's Ubuntu, there's Linux Mint. I mean, Ubuntu comes with LTS, meaning long-term service. It's kind of like the Microsoft Extended Service, you know, where like you're still getting updates, you know. So and then those come with an expiration date. But the question still remains: are you willing to learn Linux? You know, if you can't get Windows 11, you know, because Windows 11 is asking you for TPM 2.0, a new piece of tech here. Let's see here. You need 1 gigahertz or faster. 2 cores meaning each core is running at 1 gig. 4 gigs of RAM, and 64 gigs of storage. Yeah, that's Windows. And then you need secure boot capabilities, and of course TPM 2.0. Yeah, to run Windows 11. The other thing you could do too, is get some like antivirus software, uh, to protect your computer from hacks, from threats. So you could try that route, and then take it from there. But you could all, but this article really comes down to, are you willing to learn Linux? Are you willing to learn Linux? Because Linux have different operating system. Some work on newer models, some work on mid-range, and some work on older model computers. So, are you willing to learn Linux? See, good thing about me is is that when it came to this operating system stuff, I like using both of them. I never picked one. I never picked one over the other. I just, I like Windows and I like Linux. So, when it comes to a situation like this, it doesn't affect me. It might affect people that's only Windows users only. But for a person like me, I love Windows, Linux, and also Macs. So I didn't pick one operating system. I never picked one operating system over the next. Me, I was just open to using all three OSs. Whether it's Mac OS, any Linux operating system, or Windows. So this doesn't affect me, but it affects people that all they know is Windows. So yeah, they're gonna have to upgrade. So from the time Microsoft came out with Windows 11, they should have been upgraded by now. But and I've always told people, when it comes to Windows, you need two computers, one running the latest and one running the one before. Let's say one running Windows 10 and one running Windows one running Windows 11 and one running Windows 10. And if you got the space for it, or you got the space or the room for it, you could have had one computer running Windows 2000, one running XP, one running Vista, one running 7, one running Windows 8, one running 8.1, one running Windows 10, and then 11. So yeah, but but for a single person, you just need two. One running Windows 11 and Windows 10. And then of course Firefox. Firefox keeps some of Windows' old operating system up and running if you got all the service packs. So yeah, but this article is really about, are you willing to learn Linux? That is the real question. So yeah. Are you willing to learn Linux? Person like me, this doesn't affect me, because I never elevated one operating system over the next. Unless others love using all three of them. So yeah, use all three. Trying to learn as much as I can about all three, but I never elevate one over the other. So yeah, and because I know there's there are people out there that use different OSs, so they might have a problem and they might need help, so yeah. But for young folks, people that are real young, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, even 15, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Now is the time to learn Linux, learn Mac, Windows, Linux, so yeah. And then change with the times, when they come out with new OSs, yeah. Change with the times. Anyway, but yeah. I mean, for people that don't have a computer, you can go to one of these places and try to see if you can get a computer for a good price, get one for a good price, or you can go to an e-waste and see if they got any spare ones laying around, and then take it from there and build your computer, put it together, learn to put a PC together. So yeah. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the whole thing, though. But this article comes down to, are you open to learn Linux? Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people. Crystal, Star Wars, Star Trek thing. Go. Peace.